Am I the only one who thinks that Super Mario World is a perfect game? Perfect here being very subjective. However, all the qualities of Super Mario World encapsulate what perfection really is in terms of gaming, in terms of the media that it has. Timeless, the visual design, the artistic flow, the themes of every level, every aspect of Super Mario World still holds up today. The sound, iconic, memorable, catchy, energetic, upbeat, everything that you want a soundbite to give you, this game delivered on that aspect. The gameplay, butter smooth controls, quick input, mechanics that work so well with what the game is going for. Every game should aspire to be this seamless in the way it moves. And last but not least, now that we covered the visuals, the timelessness of it all, the excellent sound design, and the gameplay element, now it's time to see what makes this game perfect. It is fun. Every aspect of this game is a 10 out of 10. The only thing that I can think of that makes this game lackluster, that gives this game a certain dent in its reputation, is the story. However, what other story can you tell to deliver this gameplay? It's passable, it's serviceable. The story might not be a 10 out of 10, but it does what it needs to do. The only way I can describe this is if you, the viewer, think of this as a Tom and Jerry, think of it as a Looney Tune, where the point isn't to go deep on lore, deep on story. The point is to engage you with fun entertainment, fun comedic moments. And that's why it doesn't need to be a 10 out of 10 in story for it to be a perfect video game. Let's put this criteria to the test. Let's observe other games that other people, other reviewers claim to be masterpieces, claim to be 10 out of 10s. The fastest one that comes to mind is The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Yet we can all unanimously agree that the game, the original game, it doesn't hold up. 10 out of 10 story, 10 out of 10 music, 10 out of 10 gameplay. However, no one can truly go back and play it and have that same experience. Therefore, the game automatically becomes not timeless. And before you blame technology, remember that other games still stood the test of time. Conker's Bad Fur Day, it still looks good today. Banjo and Kazooie, and even Donkey Kong 64 can still be enjoyed today by modern gaming standards. Short video today, I wanted everybody to know what a true 10 out of 10 game looks like. And secondly, I wanted people to understand the criteria and how to judge properly a game. Because perfect is subjective, however, good qualities are universal. I'll leave you guys off with a couple footnotes of games that quite missed the mark. GoldenEye, people call it a classic, people call it a 10 out of 10. It is missing in the gameplay department. That's the same problem with Mega Man. The difficulty spike makes it less enjoyable. The new God of War, almost a 10 out of 10, was missing in the story department. It had pacing issues. Same thing with Mario 64, except the story wasn't having difficulty with pacing. It was the gameplay that was having difficulty with pacing. A lot of missions that were repetitive. Now here's a list of video games that I consider 10 out of 10 based on the criteria that I laid out. And most people would unanimously agree that yes, these games are elevated to a higher status. Lego Star Wars, great music, great gameplay, great story, and it can still be enjoyed today. Dragon Ball Z Legacy of Goku 2, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and Super Metroid all fit this description. Like, comment, and subscribe for more. If you want me to review any of the games that I have listed, please let me know. It's fun to reminisce about old games because I truly believe that modern gaming has lost all of this. With the exception of graphics, I can't think of any video games that have standout music, standout soundtracks, standout stories, or at least stories that are delivered properly, because they always have these pacing issues, things like padded out runtimes. And I definitely can't find any fun in video games anymore. We all know the people who are in charge of making video games, they're not a fan of the property, they're a fan of the money. So they're making games for a spreadsheet, they're not making games for an experience.